Environmentalists statewide sent a message to President Trump today in regards to his offshore drilling plan.
Thousands rallied across California, including hundreds at Mission Beach in support of coastal communities and wildlife. CBS News 8's Heather Hope live there now tonight with what local leaders are saying about the possibility of oil and gas drilling off our coast. Heather?
And it was such a beautiful day to be at the beach. It was packed out with lawmakers, families, as well as so many environmentalists alike, all out here for the same purpose and reason, saying no oil, even spelling it out on the sand to get their point across.
California is the future of this great nation. Are you guys with me?
Pumped to push back plans on promoting offshore drilling, many packed Mission Beach.
We're going to fight this the whole way through. We're not going to allow offshore drilling off our coast.
Oceana helped organize the Hands Across the Sand event.
We're really happy to see the crowd here today, everyone coming out together to join hands across up and down the coast.
The Trump administration proposes to vastly expand offshore drilling near California for the first time in more than 3 decades.
California has a very stringent clean energy plan in place, and San Diego has a mandated enforceable climate action plan. It just doesn't make sense to do this at this point in human history.
But oil insiders say responsible drilling would boost jobs and bring in billions of dollars, helping the U.S. achieve global energy dominance.
There are more jobs in clean energy than there are in coal energy, and it's crazy that the Trump administration wants to double down on the 20th century and not invest in the 21st century.
There will be one public comment opportunity for all Californians to talk on the topic on Thursday at the state capitol.
Without this effort today, San Diegans might not be heard on this issue.
Organizers encourage supporters to act now by texting OCEAN to 52886.
Drilling is spilling.
From chanting to drawing no drilling with chalk on the ground. The crowd linked arms and then lied down in order to spell out no oil in the sand.
I'm here today to protect the ocean.
Parent Christy Bulskoff brought her family with signs.
Blue over black, just no.
Keep it in the ground.
Oil is like a really bad thing to our planet. It can destroy a ton of things.
Today is about a greater community movement coming together.
And the plan is to bring that big no oil picture to the big meeting on Thursday in Sacramento, February 8th, for that public comment portion. New at 6:30, we see the rallies from across the state, all along the coastline, all for the same mission, saying no offshore drilling here in the state of California. I'll send it back to you.
The rally was held in protest to President Trump's recent executive order allowing offshore drilling along our coastline. Greenpeace and Oceana and other environmental organizations rallied near Belmont Park today at Mission Beach early this morning. They're trying to send a message to the White House to keep California off a list permanently of coastal bodies of water that are now eligible for drilling oil and gas.
We are not being given a fair public hearing. There's only one being held up in Sacramento, and we're out here making sure our voices get heard. When there's an accident that happens with oil drilling, it's really hard to clean it up, and you don't want to let your kids go in the water. Like, I love the beach. I grew up around the beach, and I really want my kids to be able to enjoy going to the beach, and my grandkids.
So now is the time for your voice to be heard if you have a strong opinion about this issue. The public comment timing comes from now until February 8th, and that public hearing will be held on February 8th in Sacramento.
Hundreds gathered in Mission Beach today to protest the Trump administration's plan to open offshore drilling on the California coast. The rally coincided with others taking place up and down the state. The Trump administration released its plan to sell oil and gas leases in U.S. waters last month. Groups like Greenpeace and the Sierra Club were represented, along with local state assembly members.
Frankly, these folks are working people, but they care deeply about this ocean, and they won't be able to make it to Sacramento, but they can be here today to send a strong message to those decision makers. San Diego does not want this. We want to move to clean, renewable energy. San Diego's already made that law here by adopting a climate action plan, and we want to do that even further at the state level. But drilling off of our coastline not only mars the beauty of this iconic coastline, but it also undermines our plans when it comes to global climate change.
The federal government has scheduled a single public hearing in Sacramento, February 8th, where Californians can voice their concerns. That's coming up this week.
On at 6 tonight, dozens of San Diegans packed Mission Beach, spelling out no oil in the sand. They're protesting a proposal to open up California's shoreline to offshore drilling. Environmental groups and concerned citizens are on edge after the Trump administration released the plans just last month. It would allow oil and gas companies to lease 47 areas off America's coastlines from 2019 to 2024. Of those, 2 are off Southern California. There's already more than 30 offshore drills on Southern California's coast that date back to the 1950s. This would be the first time leases would be offered for sale since 1984 right here in California.
So this is my only opportunity to get my voice heard. I want to protect the environment for my kids. It's really important to me.
The administration is required to listen to our comments and to consider them. They've also said that they will, so we're going to hold them to their word and demand that they remove the Pacific from the draft proposed program.
The Trump administration argues it's beneficial to meet U.S. energy needs at home rather than be dependent on foreign oil. A public hearing is scheduled in Sacramento for next Thursday.